Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. The Kenya Kwanza Brigade, led by the President, they are out here in rallies calling for justice for the killing of the gospel artist lady who was killed recently because in what they claim, she had tattooed William Ruto's image on her body. A number of top figures in the Kenya Kwanza, Ruto and Kindiki, William Ruto, cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, and other key politicians have been shouting since and calling for justice for the ladies' families. But you know, I think Kenya, we've reached a point where we have totally lost it as a nation. Because I look at some things and I wonder where we are heading as a country. You know, Rachel Wandeto, according to the scanty information available in the public, it says police are pursuing a different route, which could be money and love-related stories. Yesterday, Kindiki spoke something that is worth of our attention in this particular episode. Before we proceed, can we listen to Kindiki?
Mimi nasisitiza maneno ambayo rais amesema. Nchi yetu tukae pamoja, tuungane, tuache ukabila, udini, tuwe taifa moja vile Mungu alituweka. Wale wachochezi, wale wakabila ambao wanaita watu wengine wasaliti kwa sababu wamekataa mambo yao ya ukabila, paka wananchi wanaleta vifo kama ule msichana anaitwa Rachel Wandeto ameuawa kwa sababu ya chuki, kuitwa mkabila kwa sababu ameamua siasa yake na kura yake anataka kupiga wapi. Na vile rais amesema, those who committed that act, those who incited people to kill one another by calling them traitors, will not only answer, but they will pay for that crime of murder. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niwashukuru sana. Mimi nitarudi hapa siku nyingine. One more last time. Rais Ruto ni fire si fire. Mama Achani ni fire si fire. Salim Vuria ni fire si fire.
This is just one Kenyan among the hundreds who have been killed since 2023 because of politics, and nobody has ever come out to call for justice, including the president himself. This is what Kakasungura sometimes I call hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is when you pretend to be fighting for justice when you are the cause of those injustices. You are the contributor. You are part and parcel. You ulihusika. You contributed into them. So when you call for justice fairly to each and every citizen who has faced the same injustices. Let me ask you, Kenyans. Kenya Kwanza is on top of vehicles calling for justice for the killing of Rachel Wandeto, but nobody has ever taken time in those same vehicles to call for justice for the young people who were abducted, others were killed since 2023 because of demonstrations. I have a list here. We have Daniel Mudiani, known as Sniper, December 2023. A popular political blogger from Meru was killed. He was abducted on December 2nd, 2023, and his body was discovered on the 16th December 2023, dumped in a river. Autopsy revealed that he was tortured and strangled. there is no record of William Ruto and Kindiki calling for justice. Albert Ojwang, June 2025, a 31-year-old digital creator, blogger, and former teacher, known for his critical political posts. He was abducted by plainclothes individuals on June 6, 2025, and was found dead the following day. They spoke one day, they went silent. Since then, not even William Ruto has followed up on the case. Justice Mutumwa, January 2025, one of the Mlolongo 4, who was abducted alongside 3 others, following sustained legal pressure by the Law Society of Kenya and human rights groups. His body was discovered at the Nairobi funeral home. Nobody has ever called for justice for the families. Not Kindiki, not William Ruto. Martin Mwau, abducted in the same wrong operation as Justice Mutumwa. His body was also discovered at the Nairobi funeral home in late January 2025. Nobody, not even William Ruto, has ever called justice for the same. Rex Kanyike Masai, June 2024, a 29-year-old shot and killed by a plainclothes police officer along Moi Avenue. Nobody has ever been called for justice. That police officer is working scot-free in the service. William Ruto has never called for justice. Kindiki has never called for justice. Murkomen has never called for justice. Nobody has ever called for justice. Evans Kiratu, June 2024, a 21-year-old protester who died in the hospital after being hit by a tear gas canister fired at close range during a protest in Nairobi. Nobody has ever talked about it. Not even William Ruto, not even Kindiki. Boniface Kariuki, 2025, a 22-year-old mask vendor who was shot at point blank range during the June 2025 anti-government protests by a police. Nobody has ever called for justice. Nobody has ever reminded us about it. It went and died. Harrison Washira, July 2025, a young man documented by an eyewitness being shot and subsequently dragged away by security forces in Juja during the July 2025 Sabasaba Day demonstrations. Imagine, according to the government records and records from activists and other institutions, it indicates 128 extrajudicial killings and more than 89 enforced disappearances were formally recorded. Up to today, Kenyans, nobody has ever stood to call for justice. The same warthogs are pretending today to be fighting for justice. The same hyenas are now standing in public calling for justice. The same killers are now pretending to stand in public to call for justice. What a shame. What a shame, Kenyans. What a shame. Sometimes I listen to these politicians and I pity us as Kenyans. I pity us as Kenyans. Where are these Kenyans who killed them as their families received justice? Lakini sasa, we are pretending because we are heading to the general election to fight for the freedom and justice for Wandeto's killings. I'm not against it, but all Kenyans deserve equal and fair treatment, regardless of tribe and race, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their social status. They deserve justice and protection. God bless you.